Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we will be looking into how much we know about the real meaning of Basmala and putting it into practice in our daily lives. Muslims use Basmala, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, 24/7 while reading the Quran, eating, drinking, entering or living places, putting on or taking off clothes, getting into or out of bed, studying, working, and many others that they involve during day-to-day activities. While finely tuned pre-programmed creations have automated networks of basmalas, linking them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly during their preset actions, the Muslims as human beings are obliged to declare basmala consciously and willingly, announcing that the actions they take are in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, it is necessary for Muslims to choose valid methods for their voluntary actions to be able to establish authentically synchronized, genuine interrelation between the self and the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Actually, Basmala is a full sentence, the first half of it hidden in the intention of every individual Muslim that relates to every individual action. The second half of it holds the universal part, which is the same for all individual Basmala performers and performed actions. It has the same word and the meaning no matter what the differences in individual intentions and actions. Basmala begins with the preposition be, called harfi jar in Arabic, joined to the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some Arabic language scholars give it up to 16 different meanings. However, we will look into mostly 8 meanings which are specified by Taqi ad-Din Muhammad ibn Pir Ali al-Birgivi, who lived between 1522 and 1573. His grave is located in Balıkesir, Turkey. The preposition be in Basmala joins to the noun phrase of Allah's name. And it is amazing to see that the Basmala holds all the different meanings of the preposition be within itself. Now we can look at the meaning of the preposition be according to Imam Birgivi. The first one is called al-saq in Arabic. He says that directing, connecting, attaching, and uniting one thing to another is the main meaning of the preposition be. The second one is called al-zarfiyya. It means plexiform in English, which is the complicated network that envelopes all the existing different dimensions for uniting the personal intentions, actions, and the intended goals wherever they are. The third one is called sebebiyya. It tells about the reason why the action is done and for whom. The fourth one is called asta'ana. It clarifies that which facilities and tools are used to do the actions. The fifth one is called tahawul. It turns a nominative form of a word to a causative form. The sixth one is called ta'awud. It explains that authentic actions are chosen consciously and willingly to act upon instead of unauthentic ones. The seventh one is called qasam, expressing the authenticity of the choice by declaring an oath. The eighth one is called ziyada. It means augmentation in English. It does not change anything but to increase meaning in value by putting extra emphasis on it. According to Imam Birgivi, the main meaning of the preposition be is to unite by connecting, attaching, and bonding. Hence, the Basmala links and unites every individual action performer and the performed actions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. The plexiform meaning of be is related how the Basmala that take place in the three-dimensional world, which has its own special space and time, and it goes through many other different dimensions that have their own different spaces and times until reaching to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is above the all creations, spaces, and times. The third meaning reason is to clarify why the action is done, what it is and to whom is the Basmala made for. Since the proposition B is combined with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it clearly indicates that the action is made in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, the performed actions are needed to be within the permissions and the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to receive His support. The fourth meaning of proposition B indicates that using available facilities to perform the action are also created by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This specifies that the person who starts acting with Basmala is also grateful to be able to use the other created necessary sources helping to do the actions. The fifth meaning of proposition B, tahawul, involves the transformation of word from normative to causative form. The system and the reason will be explained later on. The sixth meaning of the proposition B indicates that the Basmala has the best safeguarded system for starting actions in receiving unlimited support, as it is better to act in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the owner of the infinite power and knowledge, rather than acting in the name of known or unknown restricted creations that even cannot support themselves, let alone the others. The seventh meaning of the proposition B seals the Basmala with the oath, assuring that it is the best choice to act upon. Augmentation is the last meaning of the proposition B. According to Imam Birgivi, it increases the power of the meaning without changing the form of the sentence. So it assures that acting in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most constructive choice for receiving the most beneficial results. Consequently, Muslims need to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala themselves and the actions that they are taking in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala well enough to synchronize them all in the authentic manner for the Basmala to work perfect. Since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot be seen with naked eyes in the dimension that human beings live in, they can only try to know Him learning by His names, attributes, and analyzing the results of His actions as best as they can. The Muslims who do not know the identity, authority, capacity, and the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as possible as it could be will not be able to know their own identities, authorities, personalities, capacities, and power. For example, people who began to work on behalf of a state or a company need to know their position and involved policies that they have to act upon with the legitimate boundaries. Employees will become the representative of the state or the company with the given power, authority, and responsibility that assigned in the contract between them. Therefore, it is necessary for Muslims to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala themselves and the legality of their actions, as well as the boundaries of the permissions and the restrictions before declaring the Basmala. The attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the Lord and the deity are interwoven each other in the most incredible and the best way to describe Him. However, in order to understand the individual meaning of these attributes first, we can look at them separately and then put them together for better understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as much as possible. The word Rabb, which is Lord in English, is one of the most common words used in the Quran. The word Rabb is also used for human beings, but this is not our topic at the moment. The meaning of the word Rabb, the Lord, is one, the only one who creates and ends life. This attribute belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the only Rabb. He has the creating power and the source that every creation originated from and continue living with a life-giving energy supply until the end. So He is not the only source and supporter of life, the Rabb, but also the only final returning destination. 2. The only master. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the unique ownership and authority to be master of all his creations as the only Rabb. 3. The only supervisor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the ultimate knowledge, power, right to manage, control, sustain, and educate his creations as the only Rabb. 4. The only guardian. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the authority that equipped with endless resources, unlimited knowledge, and infinite power to guard and protect as the only Rabb. 5th, the only one who have the total right to be only deity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the unlimited authority, power, and knowledge, has all the right and capacity to be the only deity, to plan all the rules and regulations for the creations to be and work in a perfect harmony. Therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the attributes of Rabb and Ilah at the same time. The meaning of the word Al-Ilah, the deity, is one who is the planner and governor of all creations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the deity, made all the automated plans and projects for all his creations from the beginning to the end. The whole creations are connected to the deity with a network of finely tuned rules and regulations. This continues individual and universal energy networks, enabling them to be and stay alive in harmony until the end, turning back to their source, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 2. Who has the power and the knowledge to do things with the word be. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says be, whatever it is, it will be. As he is the only authentic deity, he can make everything happen, even if the science and the human minds do not be able to understand. He is the unique source of power, knowledge, and the design behind the supreme planet. So he can set new rules and terminate them whenever and whatever he wants. 3. Who cannot be seen with the worldly eyes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the authentic deity, cannot be seen with the worldly eyes, but he sees and hears every single being, small or big, in every dimension, situation, space, and time. 4. Who is the one turned first during happiness or sadness. The deity is when the human beings turn first, thanking for happiness or refuging from sadness. Human beings have freedom of choice given here. 5. Who is the one turned first during hope and fear. The deity is the one human beings pray in order to attain desired prospects or saved from anticipated fears. Human beings have freedom here too. 6. Who must be the one whose rules and regulations apply to life order from A to Z voluntarily. The chooser of the deity will follow the rules and regulations of the chosen deity as to be their life order from A to Z. Human beings have freedom of choice here too. 7. Who must be the one above all the creations, the only deity as well as the only Lord. The deity must be above all the creations to be obeyed and worshipped by creations standing on a free, equal, and just platform without damaging freedom, equality, and justice among the individually different but equally valid beings. After looking into the meaning of the Lord and the deity, now we understand that the entire planning, creating, implementing, maintaining, and performing of the whole creations are interwoven work of these two qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala among the all others. Although real analog is not possible, we can try to understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better with an example. Imagine there is a new city needed to be built by a state. It needs planning, putting in action, making it operational, and keeping it maintained. There will be residential areas, roads and transportations, public parks, libraries, shopping centers, universities, schools, hospitals, health centers, and many more necessary things. It will require adequate infrastructure and superstructure for the city to run perfect. In fact, even it was perfect at the beginning, which is impossible in a few years, there will be many problems of inadequacy and inaccuracy will arise. Even though there are examples, plans, and required materials like land, stone, soil, air, water, etc. are already available alongside with the mental and physical body of human beings. Surely there will be many failures to take place in the short or a long run. Hence, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had no example or any help while planning as the only ilah and creating and putting in action as the only Rabb. Yet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the universe 13.8 billion years ago, still working perfectly, and it will be continuous to work until the end. So, to know uniqueness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is more than enough for us to look at the observable and knowable parts of the creations, let alone the rest. Clearly, there is no existence equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala among His creations. He created the universe and all in it from a light and running the entire system perfectly from micro to macro, developing towards the intended aim. In the meantime, human beings are given a special place between His creations for using their own conscience, willpower to question and choose their actions. When people intentionally start their actions with Basmala, they open an unseen gateway between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and themselves, willingly and voluntarily, through the miracle of power given to the letter B that the Basmala starts with. So the power of human action, starting with the Basmala, will be supported with the unlimited power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, any power and action will bring along with their own responsibilities too. Therefore, their actions with Basmala on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must not exceed the limit of the rules and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In any case, unless the valid synchronization of intention, aim, and actions are not established, authentic connection between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the action performers and the action will not take place. The more the energy deviation there are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the weaker the bond will be. So any invalid code in Basmala will not reach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, the person who uses the wrong codes and intentions under the false declaration of Basmala will not get any help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, a person work for a government as a tax collector cannot use his or her position to collect taxes for themselves or for anyone else. If they try to do this, they could be counted as imposters, not the official tax collectors. Then people collecting taxes on behalf of the government counted as criminals before the law. In reality, they can neither take a penny less or more from taxpayers on behalf of the state, let alone deceiving people as well as the government. Muslims who take actions in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with Basmala must question themselves to assess how honest they are in their intentions. They must also apply valid methods if they want to have uninterrupted, authentic connections with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After doing their best, Muslims also must know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to compensate and complete what they are lacking under His name of Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. So let us now take a brief look at the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Since the both words come from the same root, Rahama, we will look at the common meaning first and then the differences between them, inshallah. The root meaning of Arabic word Rahama, the one who has love, mercy, care, forgiveness, and compassion. 2. the one who gives happiness and comfort and protect from trouble and sorrow. 3. The one who truly loves, respect, and understand the physical, soul, and spiritual needs of others and supports them accordingly. 4. Warmth of a mother that bonds the mother and child as well as human generations. 5. Kingship through mother's side. The meaning of Ar-Rahman is the one who interconnects with the creations from macro to micro through unlimited love, care, mercy, and compassion concerning the dimensions of space and time. 2. The one who embraces the creations with limitless love, care, and protection without requesting anything in return. 3. The one who has absolute knowledge, power, and ability to keep the creations in their precise places and positions in all dimensions with love and caring energy attraction. 4. The one who has absolute knowledge, power, and ability to make perfect and just energy distribution between the creations according to their individual special needs, from himself to creations, as well as from creations to creations in all dimensions. 5. The one who is the source of every kind of energy that combine together to bond and hold the creations automatically to himself, to each other, including human body, soul, and spirit. The meaning of Ar-Rahim, the one who is intervened with the creations from micro to macro through the unlimited love, care, mercy, and compassion concerning the dimension that there is no space and time. 2. The one who is able to intervene in every stage of the creation with mutual energy dialogue without space and time. 3. The one who knows the need of each pre-programmed individual creation and responds to meet them automatically in no time and space. 4. The one who knows human beings well and the sincerity level of their voluntary intentions, and he responds back according to the received intention level. 5. The one who do not stop responding to voluntary actions that intended for him in this world, in the judgment day, and in the hereafter. Now we can look at the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim, relating to the pre-programmed involuntary existence. Although three-dimensional beings seem to have started with a Big Bang, there is an unlimited source of intelligence, knowledge, and power behind this explosion, which was the beginning of every kind of motion. Aristotle describes this as the unmoved mover. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only being who planned, created, and connected each creation to himself with timed and timeless energy network. As it's seen in the graph, each energy wave has magnetic and electric fields that repels each other depending on time and space towards the unknown intended aim of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is an unseen but accepted channels in the middle of each wave that's called equilibrium. It enables two-way energy link between the creator and the creations that do not depend on time and space. For sure, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the absolute truth in these very delicate areas. Nonetheless, according to what we learn until now, the name of Ar-Rahman and its attributes can be observed in the space and time dependent continuous energy link that goes in one direction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to his creations. The name of Ar-Rahim and its attributes are operating in the equilibrium channel is another continuous energy link that works in both directions between the creator and the creations independent of space and time. At this point, the meaning of tahawwul of the preposition be that we mentioned above appears in the name of Ar-Rahim due to the both ways energy link going and being brought, which allows instant energy interrelation between the creator and the creations as well as creations to creations without depending on space and time. While Ar-Rahman holds all the creations automatically in their necessary places in every stage of development that they go through, Ar-Rahim takes care of their necessary needs from within through the equilibrium. Ar-Rahim channel is the one human beings are given certain level of free will to interfere by their choice of deity and related actions. So human beings have three types of choices here. They can do their best to connect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly using the given authentic codes and coordinations. They can have different aims and objectives alongside with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sharing or diverting the power of energy with other creations, which will not function fully as it is not entirely authentic. Or they can completely block the authentic incoming and outgoing energy frequency between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by targeting totally different unauthentic directions and aims. Sufism consider that the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim, are interwoven together with love, care, and mercy from beginning to the end to accompany the creations. Yet again, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the absolute truth. The name Ar-Rahman is used 57 times in the Quran, and Ar-Rahim is 114, twice as much. This exact doubling in number arises a question in mind, whether this is because there is one way direction in the name Ar-Rahman, energy channel, and two directions in the name of Ar-Rahim. In this case, umbilical cord can be the best example, as it connects the baby and the placenta in the womb and to mother, supporting baby physically and mentally throughout its development and the birth to the three-dimensional world. Umbilical cord has one inflow and two outgoing channels from baby to mother. While the baby is supplied with nutrients and oxygen from the mother through with one incoming channel, contaminated blood is sent back to the placenta and to mother for purification with two outgoing channels. It is almost like the visible version of the energy channels between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His creations. Any fault in umbilical cord will risk baby's existence, life development, and having healthy and sound birth. It is the same when there is any deficiency and insufficiency in the invisible energy bond between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and human beings. Not only it will endanger the unity and integrity of life, health, and happiness in the three-dimensional world, but also will risk the contentment at the time of death, which is the birth to another dimension. The umbilical cord can be the best example for Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim are not understood well enough, since the science does not have complete explanation about the subject yet. Unfortunately, as long as the science and the divine knowledge do not unite, knowledge will always be deprived and incomplete. We can now understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with all His names, including Ar-Rab, Al-Ilah, Ar-Rahman, and Ar-Rahim, are belonging to the only one as well as the only whole being of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from where the uniqueness and the wholeness of the all creations originated from. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only deity who planned and laid down the managing rules and regulations how to run the creations perfectly. He also the only Lord who took the responsibility of managing and looking after all, using this set of rules and regulations. In the meantime, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who embraces all individuals and holds internally and externally with His name of Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Since it is impossible for any creation, one or whole, to exist without Him planning, creating, embracing, and encompassing them from in and out. Muslims who have conscious freedom of choice need to know how to respond these rules and regulations freely and willingly, starting with Basmala. In any case, if the Muslim neglect, abuse, and misuse Basmala, they will find that they are harming themselves only, both in this world and hereafter, as they will not be able to receive support from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala due to lack of genuine synchronization that enables human beings to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Muslims sincerely try to do what is required for Basmala as much as they can, they will receive help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with and without time through the name of Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. This will make them healthy and happy in all dimensions, here and hereafter. And that's all for now. Wherever we are and whatever we do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be with us and we will be with Him, and saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim to our every action, inshallah.